Microphone. Good afternoon. Welcome to Board of Adjustment. It's 1:30. We've got a quorum. I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. The next item is the minutes. Did everybody look at those?
I move acceptance of the minutes.
Okay, got a motion?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Cast your votes.
He got it. I got it.
All right, minutes received. Cindy, continuance request.
We have item number 11, case number 16136 is deferred till March the 5th, 2026. Item number 12, case number 15688 is deferred to May 7th, 2026. And I have 3 new requests. So we have item number 2, case number 16151. They're withdrawing because they're going to make the sign element not move. And item number 5, case number 16114, we're continuing till February 19th per the applicant. Item number 6, case number 16147, we're moving till March the 5th.
Okay. Have a motion on those.
Motion to continue as read.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. All right, those items are deferred, and what'd you say, number 2 is withdrawn?
Correct.
Okay. Do we have any requests from the public for a continuance? I don't have a consent docket, so Cindy, would you call the first one, please?
We have item number 1, case number 16142 is a request of Rebecca Foos on behalf of Mimi's Garden Child Development Center for a variance to setback regulations located at 4520 Southwest 33rd Street.
Hi, give us your name and address.
Chris Johnson. The address?
Yes, please.
615 24th Avenue Southwest, Suite B in Norman, Oklahoma.
Okay. Tell us about your application, please.
So we're in the process of selling this property, and the buyers are going to need to pull some permits to add to the property. And the northwest corner of that building is over the build line by about 2 feet. And so we're needing a variance to adjust that.
Okay. Nobody signed up on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Anything from the board?
Nothing? Okay. All right. Now I'll make a motion to approve case number 16142 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested variance.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you.
Item number 2 is withdrawn. Item number 3, case number 16153, request of Mason Schwartz of Williams Box Forshey and Bullard on behalf of Jeffrey and Terry Long for a variance to the primary access and lot frontage lot width requirements within the R1 located at 2713 East Hefner Road.
Hi there, Mason Schwartz, 522 Colcord Drive, here on behalf of the owner. If we could show the first page of the statutory conditions that has the map. So this property is a little under 10 acres, located about 600 feet north of Hefner Road between Bryant and Eastern Ave. We are seeking throughout the 10-acre property to construct a personal residence for the owner with the ability potentially someday to construct a second residence, but that's, possibly to be determined. The property is landlocked on all sides by private property. There's a, if we can go back to the previous one. So there's a private roadway easement that was granted in 2002, which is in our favor, grants us rights to utilize that roadway easement for access to the property. It's 55 feet in length. It's roughly shown by that yellow dashed line. And so the easement provides us the primary access from Hefner Road. There's also the existing road out there, which is also within the easement along that yellow dashed line. And so that's what we're seeking to use. Typically, the code requires primary access through either a public street or a private street approved by a subdivision. Here, obviously, this is not a private street, but we don't have the legal right to try to establish this as a approved private street through a subdivision because we don't own the property to the south. We couldn't plat that. So the only legal means we have of taking access is this existing road, which we're seeking to utilize. The parcel to the north, which is shown by those white arrows, uses the same private roadway that we're seeking for primary access. They constructed, the road's been there for a while, but they constructed their home in about 2009. At the time, they did a bunch of improvements to the road that we're talking about. And then in 2011, as part of that, they obtained a variance from this board to allow the same variance essentially that we're seeking today, primary access through this same exact road. That was unanimously approved in 2011. So my client is now seeking essentially the same variance that was approved in 2011 for the parcel to the north. And we have spoken with the folks to the north. They're fully in support of us, the application here today. We're going to work with them on maintenance and things like that. And they do a good job of maintaining the roads and it's good working condition as it sits today. Just briefly on the statutory conditions, again, the hardship here, if we don't have this variance, there's not really a way for us to access the property. It essentially becomes legally landlocked. And in terms of the peculiarity, within this 640-acre section, this is actually the only property that is technically landlocked. The property to the north is not actually landlocked because it has access to brine on the east, even though the topography wouldn't really allow for that to be utilized. So this is peculiar within the context of the area being the only property that is situated in this landlocked matter. We don't think it'll have any, obviously, substantial detriment or harm. It's maintained in good working condition. For 15 years, it's shown, capable and adequate as a private road to provide primary access, and it's not going to impact traffic or impact the existing conditions of ingress or egress. And then the minimum necessary to alleviate, again, this is really the only option for us. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions, and we would ask for your approval.
Nobody signed up on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? David?
Just some questions. And so when you started this application, you brought this to staff, was this the recommendation, this direction, instead of trying to figure out a better way to do this, to get these people addressed? They're not going to have an address. They're going to be, I don't even know what they're going to do, but anyway.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Sarah, if you want to jump up to the podium, Sarah and I did discuss it. And yes, the short answer is yes, but I'll allow Sarah to.
Sure, Sarah Welch, Planning Department. This started because we denied them an address because they didn't meet the zoning regulation. We don't perceive any issue with our subdivision regulations because they have that easement in place. So and they're going to meet the minimum lot size. They're going to meet everything else because of the size of the property, and it's zoned R1. So in order for us to even issue.
It's zoned R1, but it does not have water, it does not have sewer. And so it's zoned R1 because it was probably annexed in as R1 long ago. So it really doesn't meet the criteria of R1. And I would like to see more of an improved street or a private drive even that you could then turn to a street to get addressed.
Sure. So, and if we obviously.
And I know you don't own the property to the south, but you would also be improving the property to the south. And I think that something like that could be worked out.
Yeah. Well, I still think.
Because a gravel road that's got grass growing up in the middle of it is not much of an improved road. And you're going to put another house on it, then you're going to put another house on it, and then potentially another house on it, and then the guy to the south is going to build a house on it, and eventually you're still going to have this gravel road in the city. It used to be the country. It's not the country anymore.
So a couple pieces of that. In terms of how many houses, again, we're specifically limiting this variance to 2 houses at maximum. So, as
Yeah, and then you come back with addition and one
Quite
another
frankly,
house?
if we needed to do one, I actually spoke to my client about this today. If we needed to only do one, that's fine with us. The second house is kind of a possibility down the road. The second house would be for his son. This is a family property. The gentleman who purchased it is retired, and this is his retirement home. Certainly, obviously, the variance wouldn't extend to more than two, and if we need to limit it to one, we can, but they had no intention to build it up like that. Also, in terms of the conditions of the road, so they do go out there, speaking with the folks in the north, they go out there about once a year, and they drop additional gravel and regrade. It's in good working condition. The gates are in good condition. So again, the limited focus of this variance, I think, is just for those potentially two houses. On the SPUD piece of it, again, if we tried to do it with the SPUD, we'd still run into the same problem. I guess we'd have to write it into the SPUD, but the problem is we couldn't include the property to the south of us within the SPUD because we don't own that property. So either way, we're asking, just like any other variance, which in theory could be possibly done through a SPUD, we're asking, to vary the code in one way or another, whether it's through a SPUD or variance. So I think, we determined that the board, for this particular one issue of not meeting the code, we thought the board would be the best route for it.
I just don't like the idea it's not an improved road and not being addressed and have, for fire safety and just public safety in general. It's just, there is a process to do it through planning, and I'd rather see that rather than just jump to a variance and try to get it on a gravel road.
Well, and again, it's the same variance that was approved to the north.
I get that. One house, one property.
Sure. This would be, there'd be no other, at this point, it's not like we're opening a can of worms here, because after this property, we get the variance, there would be no other properties along this road to get a variance.
All the way until they decide to do something different.
Well, obviously, at that time, they can come, if somebody wants to come before the board, and they can evaluate it then. But, what we've got here today before the board, we think we've got it specifically limited to these facts and circumstances.
Regarding the number of lots that could be served, just so you're aware, we would be authorized to split this up to 3 times total before it would have to come before the Planning Commission. So if you do want to limit it to 2 lots, that would need to be part of the approval of the variance.
You said you spoke to the neighbor to the north and got support from them, but to the south, was the easement that was granted, was it granted privately by them, or was it granted through court?
It was granted privately by them, so the predecessor in title, I believe, would have owned all of the property to the south and to the north of us. And when they broke it up into these bigger tracts, they specifically reserved this easement in favor of us, as well as in favor of the folks to the north.
And have you spoken to the current owner of the southern piece to see if they support this?
I'm not sure. I believe our client did. I'm not 100% sure, but I know there hasn't been any, in his discussions with the neighbors, there hasn't been any pushback.
One other thing that might be confusing to the board, because it was confusing to us, is the way this is drawn out. These are the way that the lots are split at the county, that they have not come through the city of Oklahoma City for deed approval in that manner. So our understanding is that this property owner purchased or assembled all of those 5 tracts, so it'll be one parcel until or unless they split it with us to create a second tract.
Because right now, there's 5 different owners on 5 different lots.
So, to address that, it's a good point. This is not reflective of what we're intending to do with the property. So when we bought the property, these 10 acres were essentially, for some reason, they were broken out into 5 different county assessor parcels of 2 acres each without ever having been platted or subdivided through the city. We have no intention to subdivide it into 5 different tracts. Again, this is 1 lot or potentially 2 if down the road a second lot comes in. But this is, as it sits here today before the city, this is 1 10-acre lot. There's no 5 lots that are split up.
And Sarah, you're saying you guys can do deed approval on this? If we grant the variance today, subsequently they request to split, you can do that administratively to split this into 3 even without the frontage?
If the variance is granted to allow this easement to serve as the lot frontage, then we could do up to 3. The other caveat being that once it's over 5 acres, they're not required to come through us at all for deed approval.
And again, honestly, to avoid all that, we could just put it as a condition expressly on the variance if we want to limit it to 1 lot or to 1 home. that this variance would allow this private road to serve as primary access to up to one home on these 10 acres. We'd be fine doing it that way. Which would essentially negate the ability to go and split it up, because then you wouldn't be able to go pull permits on the second and third home.
And then, just to Don's point earlier, do you know if there's a private road maintenance agreement in place?
Private.
A road maintenance agreement, or is it just an easement?
So it's just the easement, but our client is committed to sharing whatever the maintenance costs are with the folks in the north. And again, they've done a good job maintaining it. It's really for their own benefit thus far. So it's.
Yeah, especially the property owner to the north. I think if it was one lot, I can get behind it.
Yeah, I probably could too, but I would definitely want to restrict it to one lot as a condition of the variance, just so that later on down the road, or even not maliciously, just a subsequent owner doesn't come back and say, I've got land and I would like to split this further.
That's fine. We're agreeable to that. If we want to, just for the purposes of the record, what we're talking about is modifying the variance request to say that the variance allows us, the variance to the code for primary access to be able to use this road for up to one lot or one home.
How long has your client owned the property?
Maybe a little, I think less than a year. Bought it and went to go pull the address on it, and then realized that this problem existed. So they've got their architect just about ready to go, waiting on this process.
Thank you.
Anything else?
So I guess my other question is if you get the variance, will you be able to get an address?
No. I mean, A and B, they will do something like that, right?
It would just be one,
Well, there's already a house to the north.
but a staff would assign them one address for this part, for this combined
It would be
parcel.
one address on this green area that our clients collectively own.
We would normally have to address off the street, have a Hefner address.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure you'll be able to get an address. My concern is that, just as you.
Public safety wise.
Public safety wise,
Yeah.
will we be able to get an address for that purpose?
The address will be, because of we had to assign an address for this case. So the address is 2713 East Hefner Road,
What's the address for the house to the north? Do we know?
not without looking it up.
Let's see if I can get it. Because the house to the north, I mean, there's a big property, and then just where the house is, there's another property.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the first part of that.
On the house to the north, there's a property just where the house is, and then there's property all the way around it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's
It's the
going on.
same owner, I think, but it's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that. And I would also just, again, one point on the maintenance here. This road actually existed before the people on our north grew the road essentially and improved it. So for a while, if you actually see on our property, there's an old building that I guess originally was a house that we're tearing all that down. But that, I guess this road that we're talking about, the original version of it did service this property in the past, serviced that home. So that home's coming down, but at some point that home was no longer in use, and then the people on the north came in to build, and then they improved the road a lot. So it's been in use, this road that we're talking about, for a while, but since about 2011 or so, it's been really well improved and maintained because the people on the north were doing it.
Get an address.
You guys good?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wait.
So 2751 Hefner is the address for the piece to the north.
and you're gonna get 2713. Yet their mailboxes are gonna be right next to each other on the same access.
And there's a gate, obviously, at the Hefner piece, so we can put, both addresses out there, whatever's easiest. I'm sure our client is interested in making sure they can be found.
And trash service would still be at the curb off Hefner. I think, it used to be rural, right? And it's kind of been covered up. The subdivision just to the west is, public street. I'm sure a PUD is just, if this was ever to get to that, it'd have to come back and end up being a paved street and all that. But that's why I just wanted to limit to the one dwelling.
Yeah, and I would just note the last note on that, again, coming in with one home here really is consistent, although obviously the character's changed a little bit in the area. In this property, the history of it's been one, and we're still gonna have one. So I think we are, 1 over 10 acres, I think we are maintaining that rural character.
We've just seen a lot of times when you have shared drive,
Yep.
then it gets,
Sure.
it can become problematic. If
And I-
at the sale of the house or the land and someone wants to subdivide, it just,
Yeah.
Create problems later.
yeah, I just try to solve a problem that doesn't exist today but could exist in the future.
Yeah. And that's another thing with the subdividing and plating. Like, if we actually were going to put it into 5 lots, then maybe we work something with the neighbor to the south to do it and include some pieces. But we actually have no intention to subdivide it, right? So it's at least not right now. So it's hard to get an approved road through a subdivision process when you're not looking to subdivide.
Well, and I think that'd probably be part of the condition that I would want to make on it also, is that obviously it goes back through county and gets, you submit a new legal for one parcel.
That's agreeable, sure.
All right, trying to make a motion. You may have to help me. So I'll make a motion to approve case number 16153 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested variance, with the modification that this variance will be limited to one dwelling on the property, and for the application to go back through
Deed approval.
for deed approval.
Well, it wouldn't be deed approval, but they'd have to resubmit
making it
a
worse.
new legal to the county,
So
combining
resubmit,
this back as one parcel,
gotcha, and resubmit the 5 individual parcels, combining them into one parcel.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully that makes sense.
Are you ready for a second now? Are you done? Okay, I'll second.
Now we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you, everyone.
Item number 4, case number 16155 is a request of Vox Law Group on behalf of Lustro Properties LLC for a variance to parking regulations located at 7023 North Classen Boulevard.
Good afternoon, David Box, 525 Northwest 11th Street, here on behalf of the applicant. Sarah, would you go to there we go. So our application before you is a variance to the number of parking spaces required. My client, although it's zoned R1, owns and operates an office building here. There are currently 15 parking spaces. There are 9 offices. Our expansion is minimal. It's only adding 2 offices. So we will have 11 total offices. We will still be significantly overparked compared to what the 27 count would require under the code. So we're seeking a variance to allow our current parking to remain. Happy to answer any questions.
Nobody signed up on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Okay.
So I'm sure he's probably adding on to that, going west, out the back, most likely.
Correct. Yeah. So that green space south of the parking lot, west of the building. If you're familiar with most of the offices up and down that street, the parking lots are mostly empty.
For me, I mean, the owner knows what he's getting. If he's ever to sell the building, he's going to sell the building with the, 15 spaces that are there. And
11
some
offices, 15 spaces.
They know what they're getting.
And I'm in the area
So,
regularly, and
overparked.
the parking lots are not full, so.
Right.
Well, I mean, we say this in planning commission a lot. I think there's an acknowledgement that the code is a bit flawed in that how we calculate our parking. The idea that you'd have 27 parking spaces for 11 offices is wild. My belief is that when my 10-year-old son is a lawyer and the new code gets implemented, we're going to fix the parking ratios.
Well, I'd like to know how you're going to get your son to be an attorney, because my kids do not want to be attorneys. So that's a separate question
If
for us.
his MBA dreams fall through, he said he's.
I'm guessing that the offices themselves are single occupant?
It's an energy company, oil and gas.
Okay.
So
I don't even want to
all
say
of
it, but
them?
will you put a bike rack out up there since it's on a bike lane?
You're joking, but that's funny. Sorry.
But
Doesn't
the
that get you like
energy
4
company
parking
owns all-
spots?
What's that?
The energy company owns all of these
Correct.
offices? It's- They're not subletting any part of it to?
No,
Yeah,
it's
I
a
don't-
single owner.
Yeah, I don't.
And then if they were to
There's no
sell
issue.
it, they sold it with
Yeah.
that many parking spots and everyone would know.
Yeah.
So I'm okay.
I'll make a motion then to approve case number 16155 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested variance.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes.
That was good. Thank you.
You're approved.
Item number 5 was continued. Item number 6 was continued. Item number 7, case number 16150 is an application by Carla Merritt on behalf of Chris Cato to allow home sharing located at 3317 Parker Drive.
Carla Merritt, on behalf of my client, Christopher Cato. The address property is 3317 Parker Drive. We're looking to get approved for a home share.
I don't have anybody signed up on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Anything from the board?
Just a couple things on the application itself. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath.
Correct.
On the number of guests, you've got 8,
Yes,
but it's just a 3-bedroom home.
correct.
So tell me how you,
The person that I spoke to with the application said that you could put, I believe, 2 in each room, and that's what they told me to put on there was 8. So is that incorrect?
the ordinance reads 2 per bedroom plus
2 per
2 for a
bedroom plus
maximum.
2.
But
So that would be 8.
yeah, right. But, and that, again, goes to a maximum number. I just wanted to know,
Yes.
in a house that's, it's not a very big home itself, and it's just 3 bedrooms. I just wanted to know how you could get, how you could sleep that many. I mean, if you have 2 queens in one room, or how are you doing it? Do you know?
He has 2 rooms that do have double beds in them to be able to sleep multiple occupants.
2 doubles in them?
Yes.
I've got a problem with 1 bathroom trying to accommodate 8 people.
Yeah, no, right. I mean, I'm more to 6.
That's kind of what I wrote down.
That would be agreeable.
There we go.
And then I'd like to make the quiet hours 9 PM to 8 AM. Put that in the application. Maximum number of vehicles to be 4.
No
No on-street parking during the quiet hours, so no on-street parking overnight. And the term would be 1 year.
Yes, sir.
Ready? All right. I'll make a motion then to approve case number 16150 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exception with the following modifications. This will be for a term of 1 year. Maximum number of guests shall be 6. Quiet hours shall be from 9 PM to 8 AM, a 4-car maximum, and no on-street parking during quiet hours.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
You're approved.
Item number 8, case number 16152 is an application by A Real Home Away on behalf of Larry and Jennifer Minor to allow home sharing, 8708 Sirocco Circle.
Good afternoon. I'm William Burleson of A Real Home Away on behalf of Larry and Jennifer Minor, seeking a special exception for home sharing for 8708 Sirocco Circle. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I know the application says 8 guests, but 7 or 8 guests. 4 spots for parking, 2 in the garage, 2 in the driveway. Quiet hours 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. This property has never been leased, and these are new owners in a new application.
How many bathrooms are there?
2 bathrooms.
Okay.
Nobody
Can you
signed
tell us how
up.
we get to 8?
Probably incorrect on my part. I should have asked for 7. So that's what I'll do here is ask for
Is
7.
there a sofa bed in the living room?
Yes, sir, there is.
You can access the garage for parking?
Yes, sir.
That's what it looked like in the picture. So 2 in the garage and 2 in the drive,
Yes, sir.
maximum of 4. And the term would be 1 year. This is
Yes.
the first time this has come up.
Right. Make a motion then to approve case number 16152 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exception with the following modifications. This shall be for a term of 1 year. Maximum number of guests shall be 7, a 4-car maximum, and no on-street parking during quiet hours.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you very much.
Item number 9, case number 16141 is by Jesus Rivera Estrada and Adela de Leon Belize to allow home sharing at 635 Southeast 38th Street.
Hi. My name is Adela de Leon, and
Oh, would you pull the microphone down? You can hear.
hi, my name is Adela de Leon, and here to asking for a home sharing license. The house is 4-bedroom, 2-bath.
Nobody signed up on this one either.
Just a couple of questions on the application, and so I looked it up online, and it says it's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath.
Well, it's 4 bathrooms and 2 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms. I don't know why the city has 3, but we have 4 bedrooms.
And 2 full baths.
Yes.
It's 1,404 square feet.
The house was remodeled 2 years ago, so I don't know what's that, and the city is not updated.
Did I understand you to say that it was renovated 2 years ago?
Yes, finalized 2 years ago, or a year, something like that.
Did you renovate it? Or was it renovated when you purchased it?
No, we did. My husband has a company, construction and remodel, and everything's under the city. We have the permit and everything. We passed the final, I forget the name of that one. Yeah, the final inspections.
Thank you.
How many vehicles do you think you could put in the drive?
We've been there four vehicles.
Because it's
Yeah.
pretty skinny to put them side by side.
I know, yeah, but can fit. We have 2 big trucks and 2 small cars. So when we were there working on it, so fits well.
I'm going to say, for me, I need the maximum number of people that I would allow in this would be 4 or 8.
8.
Yeah.
So we have 2. We have 1 in the living room, sleeping, the sofa.
Yeah, I still am going to be with 8, with
8.
this small of a home
Okay.
with that.
You feel comfortable with 4 cars?
Yeah, I mean, we could put 4 in there. They're only going to put what can fit in the drive.
Right. No
House is
on-street.
on the end of the street. I
Yes.
don't really want street parking.
I was gonna say no on-street parking at all, right?
Yeah. This is the first time this has come up for this application, so the term would just be 1 year.
1 year, okay.
And quiet hours would be from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
I think I have those rules on the house. We're planning to list it as soon as we can.
Nobody signed up on this one either.
Ready for a motion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion then to approve case number 16141 for the purpose that it meets statutory requirements for the special exceptions with the following modifications. This shall be for a term of 1 year. Maximum number of guests at 8, a 4-car maximum, no on-street parking at all, and quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes.
Thank you.
You're approved.
Item number 10, case number 16135 is an application by David Box of Box Law Group on behalf of KWN Assets LLC to allow home sharing at 10201 Southeast 74th Street.
Do you have the zoning here? Good afternoon, David Box, 525 Northwest 11th Street, here on behalf of the applicant. So this is a unique one. It's my first special exception for home sharing. I've sat through countless home sharing special exceptions through the years. I had the privilege of being involved in the ordinance drafting for this use. This one is unique in that we have gone through the rezoning process in front of Mr. Noble to get the site rezoned into a PUD that would allow for events and other things. There is a sizable barn that is on the site, and when it was originally conceived, it was primarily used for the family's own kind of private family functions. As they've transitioned, it's now going to be able to be used for events, think charity events, fundraisers for political, for folks running for political office, things like that. And so the rezoning is done and in the past, and the rezoning, and why I mention this, it all kind of ties together. The rezoning allows for bed and breakfast, commercial lodging, and spectator sports and entertainment general, which is the use unit necessary for kind of event space and event centers. So we tried through the rezoning process to allow for the home sharing use to be a use allowed by right moving forward. And although we disagreed with the staff and the city attorney's office, we decided to take the path of least resistance and come and get to burden Mr. Noble twice with the same site. So here we are. And so what we're asking for is the ability to have the special exception for home sharing. This is undoubtedly, I think, the most unique home sharing site you have seen. It's a sizable 8-bedroom, 10-bathroom facility. And again, it comes with not only the home, but you have then that sizable barn structure. I know from sitting here through most of these, parking's always an issue. I can tell you that in our PUD, we prohibit on-street parking. Of course, 74th is a major street. We have a lengthy driveway. significant paved spaces, and in addition, there is a garage that has 33 oversized garage spaces and total of 56 spaces. So I don't know that any of the concerns you normally see with a home sharing application in a residential neighborhood are at play here. And because of the unique nature of this, we would ask, if possible, to have the max under the ordinance to be a 3-year window on this one. So happy to answer any questions. As you can see, this is really kind of isolated. If you've driven by there or looked at images from the street, there's a gate. It really is secluded, significant tree coverage, in a very special, unique place.
Nobody signed up on this one either.
Nobody left in the room.
I'm willing to make exceptions on this one in terms of guests and things like that. I think it's a unique concept. I think it works. The one that I don't know that I'm willing to make, though, is just the exception to the standard 1 year, just because we get so much pushback on it from all of the operators that come in, and the argument and the rationale behind it is just, let's see how it operates, and we're protecting the neighbors around. So I think that part still applies even with the rezoning or with the PUD. And so I want to be able to stand behind the fact that we gave the neighbors the opportunity of seeing how this operates for a year. But I wouldn't have any problem doing a 3-year on the renewal.
And I don't disagree. I mean, but maybe the standard is if you come with a 19,000 square foot home with 8 bed and 10 bath and a 56 space garage, then you get the 3-year. But I understand your sentiment.
And I'll say in the application, I mean, I think it's going to be a very tight run property, full-time estate manager and security, a minimum of 2-night stays, and all of that is within the application. The maximum number of guests being 16, quiet hours per the PUD, maximum number of vehicles. I mean, you could put 16 on it, or just tied to the special exception anyways. It wouldn't tie to the rest of the property.
Say that you want to.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you put 16 cars or 16 people, it really wouldn't make any difference. You could put 56, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just saying, if there's 16 people staying in the property, you're probably not having 56 cars.
Maybe the only pause I have is
it goes back to the use.
There's a car collection.
And I think in the PUD, if I remember, we put a number because there was 56 parking spots, so you can have 56 with the use of the entertainment.
Yeah. What we did in the PUD is we say that, I believe we said that the driveway shall be utilized, which is, it's a significantly long driveway. There's actually 2 of them. I'd rather not limit the number of cars because there is a private car collection on site at some points. I don't know what's happening with that.
Maybe we can just say we'll limit the number of cars to the number of parking spots available.
Yeah, on site.
Within the property.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any, like, the way that this property is configured and set up, like, obviously there's no on-street parking. And I think with that restriction, I'm okay with them having as many cars as they want to have as long as it's maintained within their project.
Yep. In the term of 1 year.
It's kind of their problem to manage.
Yeah.
16 is the most we can allow, right?
People?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the
Yeah. And so it's an event space. They have to leave after 11 p.m. on the weekend nights, and so those people would leave, and then maybe the people that were running it would stay overnight.
Okay.
Kind of the use.
We ready in?
I'm good with it.
Okay. Motion to approve case number 16135 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exceptions, with the modification that this will be for 1 year and that number of cars is limited to the number of parking spaces?
On site.
On site.
Oh, is that it?
1 year term.
Are you still
Yeah.
going? Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes.
Thank you.
You're approved.
Item number 11 is continued. Item number 12 is continued. Our docket.
Is there anything that we're waiting on item number 12, or is there anything the staff is aware of why this one keeps coming back?
This one is Public Works working out
Okay.
the issue.
I don't have any additional items. We don't have any committees. Anybody want to say anything? Any? Citizens to be heard. Oh, wait a minute. You can speak.
Sorry, one quick update for the board. Our Deckard, our consultant for home sharing, the complaint line went live last week. So we are now accepting home sharing / short-term rental complaints at okc.gov/STR for short-term rental. Super easy link, okc.gov/STR.
Okay?
Violations or complaints against the board?
That's probably complaint for the board, yeah. Citizens to be heard, other than Sarah.
Violations or complaints against the board?
What was that?
If there'd just be violations and complaints on it.
I don't have any other business. Call it adjourned.